Hi everyone, this is Rosalina Mota. This is my first time doing a video, so be patient with me. And this is just a few of my random thoughts. I've been going through a few things and also a few conversations with friends and events and things like that have led me to this video and inspiration. So I don't know what to call it yet, but once again, random thoughts. So as I have on my notes here, um, the first thing that came to my mind as I was thinking and preparing for this, which I'm somewhat there, it was what has happened to you in recent times that has made you doubt yourself and your worth. Um, the reason that was the first thing that came to my mind is that from the right before the beginning of the year, a few things had been leading up and going on in my life that made me start doubting myself. And even before the beginning of the year, just when anyone asks a question like that, I can always remember exactly the moment that something happened to me that I was like, damn, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy of this, or to receive this, or to do that, or to date this person and whatnot. Um, and the reason I want to share that with you, and the reason I want to ask this question to you so you can ask yourself, is that we are worthy enough, regardless if we see it in ourselves or we don't, we are. And sometimes other people will project their feelings and how they feel about themselves onto us, or they see something in us and they don't see it in them, so they try to break us down. And if we're not strong enough or we don't believe enough in ourselves, we'll believe that. Um, like bad relationships. You know, you can give into a relationship and it can end up nowhere, or it does not go where you expected it to go, and then you start doubting yourself. As in, why did this happen to me? Why can't I be loved? Or why can't someone take me serious? Like, that's something that has been going through my mind, right? All my friends tell me and family members that I'm a great catch and I have all these qualities and whatnot, and I know that I have them, but then because of certain things that have happened in relationships, I have doubted myself. So I would go on dates and I would go with this preconceived notion in my mind that I wasn't good enough. And I would try to upsell myself. Or I would show a side of me that I thought were all my good qualities. Like when you go to a job interview, you know, you let them know the things that you can do and what you can do for them, but you try not to show what you can't do, right? Because you want the job. It's the same thing as in a relationship. I wanted a relationship so bad that um, I would, even though I doubted myself, I would like, well, I can do this, I can do that, and I would show a great side of me. But then the more that I would get to know the person, the more vulnerable I felt, just like I'm feeling right now in this video, and the more that I would kind of repress myself later on. And, you know, I kind of would ruin something that could potentially have a future because I stopped showing me, because I was afraid that if they saw all of me, they wouldn't like me. Um, so I come to you naked, looking a hot mess with my crazy Wyoming right now for a reason. Because most of you get to see me, you know, glammed up and in an awesome picture, you know, with friends, where I'm out and I'm happy and I'm smiling, but I rarely show the vulnerable side of vulnerable. My Spanish kicks in when I talk and when I get emotional. The vulnerable side of Rosa, for the simple reason that, you know, the world tells you not to show that, that people don't want you to be negative or whatnot, or don't put your business out there. And it's not about putting out your business, but reaching out. And sometimes your story can impact someone else and it can help them. Anyways, so yes, my Wyoming, my inner lion. So yeah, I was having a conversation with one of my girls this week, and she impacted me in such a way. She's such a smart young lady, love her to death, and her son too. And the most important thing that I got out of that conversation and her mentorship in that sense was to put my mask on first and there second to save my life. You know how when you're in an airplane and they always tell you, if something happens, grab that mask and put it on first, then tend to someone else? So my question to you is, where have you in your life put yourself second? and you always put your, instead of yourself first. And where have you put other people first, when you should have put yourself first? Um, Also, basically what I'm saying is, how often do you put your needs last and put others first? Think about it. If you want to write about it, go for it, because this is, as I'm doing an internal reflection on my life and where I've done that, I also want to share that journey with you. And then another question is, how many times had that led you to be passive aggressive? As in, you blow up in people, on people out of nowhere, because of the built up repressed feelings that you've been holding on to. Um, for example, if you're having an issue at work or with a family member or whatever, and they keep harassing you or they keep telling you about something, and you don't say anything, and you're like, okay, 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 and then you finally blow up, right? And they're like, well, why are you blowing up? You've never complained about doing this task before, or whatever, whatever. And then you're blowing up now is because you never mentioned that you didn't want to do it, right? um, and then another question is, how many times has that how many times does doing that action lead you to feeling guilty about expressing yourself, and now the cycle continues? So basically, is that okay because you did not express yourself the first time and put your needs first? You kept doing the same action over and over, and after you exploded on this person or someone else, now you feel guilty because you exploded and they have no idea where those emotions were coming from because you never expressed them. And now you continue to do the same thing again, and because you felt guilty about exploding, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, blah 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 blah, and now you go back into that same pattern. So what I'm asking is, analyze and see where in your life have you done these things, and try to break that pattern. That's what I'm doing in my life. I'm not perfect, nobody is perfect. But I do deal with passive aggressiveness sometimes, just because, like my friend was telling me, she's like, you're too giving. And sometimes you give too much to the point that you forget about yourself. And when you do, you blow up. So, and then I end up feeling guilty about blowing up, and then the pattern continues. So, as I walk through my own little personal development journey and expansion, I invite you as well to grow with me. So, yeah, those are my thoughts for now. That's all I wanted to share. So yeah, put your mask on first and other people second, because if you don't take care of you, you won't be able to take care of other people. So yeah, and remember to really dig into yourself this weekend if you can, and the rest of the week. And just because it's Friday doesn't mean that it's turn up Friday. Sometimes it can be turn down Friday or turn down weekend. Yeah, so thank you for seeing this, and next time.